A year ago, everybody thought Apple was untouchable. Like nobody in the premium smartphone game could even breathe in the same direction. But over the past few months, something wild has been happening. Slowly, quietly, and way under the radar of the average user. Suddenly, Apple doesn't look like the unstoppable giant anymore, and the reason is the last company anyone expected to pull this off, Xiaomi, a brand people used to clown for making cheap iPhone knockoffs, is now turning into one of Apple's most legit threats. The crazy part is that this shift is happening in the same year Apple dropped its most successful launch in a decade, the iPhone 17 Pro Max, which blew up pre-orders, broke hype records, and looked like another guaranteed home run. But 3 months later, boom, the hype fell off a cliff. In a bunch of countries, sales of the iPhone 17 Pro Max dropped somewhere around 22 to 27% in just 1 month. And the slide isn't stopping. Meanwhile, out of nowhere, Xiaomi comes flying in with a 17 Pro Max. Yeah, the name looks like they copy-pasted Apple's. Everyone joked about it. But the phone didn't just survive the memes, it became the hottest device of the winter. Counterpoint Research says Xiaomi's 17 Pro Max jumped a ridiculous 150 to 180% in sales in just 6 weeks, becoming the first Chinese flagship to directly steal premium market share from Apple. And analysts are stunned because this has never happened before. And the real question now is how? How did Xiaomi suddenly drop a phone that not only catches up to Apple, but actually beats the iPhone in a bunch of key areas? Turns out this thing is loaded. The Xiaomi 17 Pro Max comes with a 6.9-inch display, blasting over 4,000 nits, the brightest smartphone panel in the world right now, a camera system rocking a massive 1.1-inch sensor that reviewers from GSM Arena to DxOMark say is the new king of night photography, a huge 7,500 milliamp hours battery, absurd 120-watt charging, a new cooling system, and the latest Snapdragon chip hitting record performance. And then Xiaomi went for the kill with pricing that's straight up 20 to 30% cheaper than the iPhone 17 Pro Max. For the first time ever, a Xiaomi flagship doesn't feel like a budget alternative. It feels like a real premium contender. And Chinese insiders say Xiaomi used the Pro Max name on purpose to basically tell Apple, yeah, we're coming straight for your lane. Judging by the numbers, the plan worked. Apple, on the other hand, is definitely sweating. Bloomberg and Nikkei Asia report that inside the company there is growing concern, and supply chain sources say Apple already cut production for next quarter because demand for the iPhone 17 Pro Max is sliding harder than expected. Analysts blame market saturation, high pricing, the lack of any real mind-blowing innovations this year, and the fact that Chinese brands have finally caught up in hardware and design. The Wall Street Journal even wrote that Apple's technological lead is now the smallest it has ever been because everything that used to make the iPhone unbeatable, performance, ecosystem, cameras, stability, can now be matched. Xiaomi is building an entire ecosystem too. Phones, laptops, watches, smart home devices, all tied together but way more flexible than Apple's locked system. IDC researchers say the gap that used to be years has shrunk to basically one product cycle. When you compare the numbers, it gets even clearer. The iPhone 17 Pro Max brings a solid 3,000 nits XDR display, strong color accuracy, great video, all the usual Apple strengths.